They're some of the best we have to offer. If you visited Caladesi or Honeymoon Island, you've gotten to experience a piece of Florida history. Many vacationers and locals alike have no idea that those two islands were once connected.
So a storm from 100 years ago changed all of that. 10 Tampa Bay reporter Bobby Lewis is on the road in Dunedin with a look back at the anniversary of this coast's most devastating hurricane.
If you're looking for backyard beauty, it's hard to beat Caladesi or Honeymoon Island. As picturesque as Florida gets.
I had never seen many of these photos until after my grandmother's death.
It also happens to be the place where some of Terry Fortner's favorite photos were taken.
And here's Myrtle as an adult with one of her many pets.
That's her right there.
Yes.
This is her grandmother, Myrtle Scherer, born in 1895.
Her parents lived on Caladesi Island. They were homesteaders.
A woman who knew a much different looking coast. A few miles away, a tiny bump of land rises from the water, Anclote Key, home to a little known landmark.
A lot of people don't even realize there's a lighthouse here.
There are 130 total steps leading to the top of the lighthouse at Anclote Key, 3 miles off the coast of Tarpon Springs. 110 feet tall, built in 1887 to aid sailors. A coastal beacon, which has seen countless storms over the centuries.
It is still an aid to navigation. I mean, it's lit every night. If it's not lit, I climb it and figure out why and get it lit.
100 years ago, if you had climbed to the top of this Anclote lighthouse, October 1921, and looked south, you would have seen one of the most devastating storms to ever hit the west coast of Florida. A storm that changed the shape of the Sunshine State forever.
The Great Wall of Water had piled rows of seaweed, lumber, broken small boats, and other trash up on the sand dunes. This is the story of how the pass was formed and the island became two.
Terry knows all about the Tampa Bay Hurricane of 1921. The Category 4 monster split her grandmother's home island in half. An event documented in the book Myrtle wrote at age 87.
I saw a new pass had been cut by the storm. This is now called Hurricane Pass.
A place that still exists today.
Florida is synonymous with hurricanes.
Inside the Dunedin History Museum, you'll find a special exhibit examining some of the biggest storms to ever hit Florida, like the one that created Hurricane Pass.
You know, the reason we have 2 islands instead of 1 is because of a hurricane.
David Knupp is the museum curator.
Tampa Bay suffered serious flooding. County roads were washed out, ships were destroyed. I mean, it was a very destructive storm. It's definitely the most impactful hurricane in this area.
She lived through that. I can't imagine living through that.
She was the first person to see the pass cut after the hurricane.
Boats now float where Myrtle Scherer once walked. She survived a storm like few others Florida has seen.
Hurricane Pass, it has that name for a reason.
A century ago, the shape of our coast was changed forever, but it still left us with one of the prettiest views in Florida.
8 Floridians lost their lives in that hurricane 100 years ago. The exhibit highlighting all the major storms to hit Florida will remain on display at the Dunedin History Museum through the first week of December.